You may have just seen the video we did on vulnerability and how important it is to creating intimacy and deep connection with people. But if you want to start being vulnerable, how do you know how much to share? And how do you share without, some of the stuff you may want to be sharing is rather personal, and it might be things that weren't great in your life. So how do you share that without appearing like a victim? So we're here with Reid Mahalko from readaboutsex.com, and I'm Cathy from theintimacydojo.com.
How do you share vulnerably and know when enough is enough or when too much is too much? And then how do you not come off being...
Oh, poor me. Look how bad my life is.
Yeah. Well, let's work backwards. So how do you come from a place of not being, oh, poor me?
Mm-hmm.
If you're feeling when you're sharing it, oh, poor me, then you're probably coming from the oh, poor me place.
And then that's not always bad, but when that becomes the whole tenor of your conversation, that's setting a tone that you may not want to create.
Well, the question I would think you might want to ask yourself is, why are you sharing it in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Just because
really
Reid and Cathy said be more vulnerable. No, but like, what's your intention with sharing?
Mm-hmm.
Get really clear on those things. Are you sharing to unburden yourself because you can't stand keeping it a secret anymore? If you don't ask somebody for, is it okay if I share something with you that I need to reveal?
Yeah.
Then it could occur to them like dumping.
Right. So it's really nice if you go, hey, Reid, could I vent to you for a few minutes?
Yeah.
That's different than just going up and blah.
Yeah. And then the poor me piece, getting clear about why you're sharing and what it is you would like to get out of it.
Yes.
I think that can be really important because there's clarity there and you can set it up that way. It's like, hey, I want to share something that might be troubling.
Yes.
And my intention is I want you to know a little bit more about me. And I just kind of would like to hear at the end of this some reassurance that I'm a good person.
Yeah. That's
a lot more context than, hey, I had this horrible thing happen to me. What do you think? Or, do you agree that this was a horrible thing?
Right. So you're kind of using, we have a video on difficult conversations, and Reid has a great download on that. So you're kind of front-loading it and letting them know what you'd like out of this and giving them some guidance on how to hear you.
Yeah. And that, I think, will kind of clear up any unconscious agenda that you might have coming out sideways when you share things about yourself.
Yeah.
And those unconscious agendas, for some folks, kind of are along those lines of, I need support, or I need you to agree with my plight. Not, I want you to get to know me better so that we can have a deeper relationship. I think people share unconsciously sometimes in the name of, but I'm being vulnerable,
Yeah.
I'm being transparent, which you can make that more empowered by getting clear on what your intention is, like being more conscious about how you're sharing and relating to people. The vulnerability piece is key, but vulnerability just kind of like a garden hose or a fire hose turned on without anybody holding it.
Yeah.
And then it whacks somebody in the head and your vulnerability is not so pleasing.
Yes.
And creating disconnection rather than connection.
One of the tips we've heard from Brendan Burchard as well is if we can share from a point of having at least some path forward, that we've found some wisdom from it. So I have an abuse history, and I sometimes share some of that with people. And sometimes I'm sharing it to let them know that they can get past it too. Like, I can share my path, the victory over it. And that will definitely take away the victim, the tone of victim around it.
Or you can just share with people like, hey, I want to share this thing that I haven't quite worked through yet.
Yeah.
So I might have a lot of stuff come up, but I feel like it's time in our relationship for me to share some more vulnerable things with you.
Yeah.
Would you be up for that? Sometimes like you can try to build all the context, but the context is really in you telling me what happened.
Yeah.
And so at some point, you can't give people all the answers because what you're sharing, part of the answer lies in what you're actually sharing with them.
Yes.
But you can kind of warn them a little bit or check in and make sure they're in a good space to hear this, or at least announce what your intention is.
Yeah. I think we should do another video for the other part of the question.
Okay.
Thanks,
Next video coming right up.